Okay, perfect. So this is going to be a pretty long video because I'm going to be showing you our newest and biggest launch yet. A lot of you are waiting for it, the Luxentrics Research Agent. Go ahead and put this up. So here what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to show you the sign-in process, the tutorials, and how to work through this software. This is not a buy and sell software. This is not a signal-based software. It is based off of macro intelligence. So here what it does is it gives personalized portfolio conviction scoring, daily macro briefs tailored to your market, whether you're in Asia, London, or United States, New York, I meant, and global market intelligence, simplified or advanced, whatever level you are on. So let me go ahead and send into one of my test accounts and show you how to work through this and how you can get the best out of it. So automatically you get welcomed. This is your personal investment analysis tool. Let's take a quick tour of how everything works. Of course, you can skip it if you'd like to whenever you get to it, since if you did watch this video, you may not have to do it again, but we're gonna go through it here. So start tour. So your money at a glance. Here's your total portfolio value and today's change. Green obviously means up and red means down. This updates when the market moves. So for daily market updates, this is your daily market read. What happened, why it matters, what to watch, updated every day around 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, beyond Wall Street, you can tap here to see what's happening in Europe and Asia. UK and Asian Pacific markets have their own daily briefs. Now, of course, you can change that in your settings. We have weekly recaps, which every Sunday you get a full recap of the week, performance, sector rotation, key stories, and what's coming up next. Now, we're going by tabs if you haven't noticed. I know it's a little dark, but we're going by tabs. We went from home to market pulse. Now we're in portfolio. For your portfolio, you have your holdings, which is your investments. This is where you add your own, type any ticker, and enter your shares and what you paid, and the app starts tracking and scoring it. Everything is manual entry, so your data never connects to your bank. We do this for privacy reasons, and of course, in case there is any threat to this software, your private data is never let out. So we have pricing zones. This feature unlocks that platinum tier. So you'll see a lock icon here. Tap anytime if you want to upgrade. Right now we're in black tier, remember. So the key level is basically, it's actually a super useful tool and I use it for a lot of my videos on Instagram, or I let you know the support, the resistance, and it even tells you the best buy window. So for the explainer, we have plain English breakdowns. This feature unlocks that platinum as well, and you'll see a lock here as well. And basically, this is an AI that tracks your entire portfolio whenever you need like an understanding of what's going on, what's being affected, whether you should trim, rebalance, or maybe change your theories of something else because the fundamentals broke. You go ahead and talk to this AI chat. It's amazing. So for your positions, the searches today and the current plan, search any stock and look up any stock or fund, even ones that you don't even own yet. Just type a ticker name or company name, and you can also search international stocks by adding the exchange codes. And there are the examples for those. I actually had one of my beta testers tell me that they would like me to go international, not just, the basic holdings. And it's going to be a lot more easier for people worldwide to use this software rather than just some specific areas. So I feel this is an amazing upgrade. Now, what's coming up? We have the earnings calendar. See which companies are reporting earnings soon, what analysts expect, what it means. All in plain English. So if you hold the stock, it's usually flagged for you. Now, we have, oh, that was in the research tab. Now we're in the two lanes tab. In the two lanes, which I usually always say, I have to catch a breath, which I usually always say it in my Instagram videos or in my YouTube videos. I always say there's two lanes. There's long-term investors and there's high-frequency investors, also known as near-term. So for long-term investors, if you're building wealth over years, this is your lane. You'll see action labels like stay the course or next contribution. Clear guidance. This is going to be clear guidance, not trading signals. For high frequency movers, if you're actively managing positions, this is your lane. Labels like act or stand aside tell you when to move and when to wait. Your lane is set during onboarding and can be changed in your account anytime. It is in your settings, and I'll show you how to do that too, no worries. Now, this will be your navigation. Everything you need is right here. 7 main sections of your daily workflow plus account and support at the bottom. So tap the help icon at the top right corner anytime to replay this tour, which will be, I will show you that as well, which I'm not sure if it shows it. Now for the settings, now we're in the accounts. In the accounts tab, your settings, you customize your experience here. Risk tolerance, investment goals, trading style, and whether you want simple or detailed mode, which usually it's on the onboarding when you're first into this whole app situation. It gives you like an onboarding flow, but since I already have this account set up, it doesn't really give me that, but don't worry, you'll get like that at the beginning. So you also get to choose between simple or detailed mode, or in other words, simple or advanced. And these settings can change how the app scores your investments, of course. Now your subscription is here, which you see their billing. You can manage your subscriptions there. And that's it. You're all set. So you can go to account, profile, and replay tour if you have any questions. Just ask, of course, Bresni, which is one of my helpers that definitely helped me create this entire software from scratch. So let's go ahead and start from here. Like I said, I already had this account all set up, but we're gonna go ahead and go through by through and be as simple as possible. So we have our portfolio value here. We have 4 positions holding. Portfolio strength is at watching. We have our contributions planner. Of course, this wouldn't maybe be so much for high frequency movers if you're not into it, but just in case if you want to be curious how much you'd be earning if you go ahead and be consistent with your contributions. What it does, as you can see, it says here 15.1% annual. It's auto calculated. So what it does, I'm gonna scroll down real quick because here are the holdings. Where's it? There you go. Here are the holdings. We have Apple, SMH, VTI, and Gold. And what it does, it auto calculates everything together for you, and it tells you the past returns on those stocks and everything together. So 15.1 is actually not bad at all. Now, of course, past returns don't necessarily tell you the future returns. It could possibly be different, but it's a nice rough estimate to work with. You have the projections here and your contribution amount. You can go ahead and play around with this if you'd like. You can even use custom rate instead. And you can view breakdowns, of course. This is amazing, I would feel. So here's also your portfolio analytics. You can view 10 years, 5 years, 12 months for as short as 7 days. And you could basically go ahead and see how far out you can get to. What I also found super helpful was the dividend tracker. These are again for more like long-term investors. For the dividend tracker, you get to see how much income you're making from each one and how much you're making on a monthly average. So I found this super helpful as well, especially if you're invested in income ETFs or trying to see if you can get into more income ETFs. So what you can also see is your holdings here, and you can see the strength. So it is set at beginner mode, meaning beginner mode is just going to tell you for word. Let's say Apple is solid, SMH is solid, VTI is watching, and gold is watching. So for a long-term plan, it's a good time to add to your portfolio. Consider selling some shares if you are a near-term plan. Now, it says the same thing over here. Now for VTI, it says your position looks solid, so keep on holding that for long term. But for near term, it also says keep your current position. On the other hand, on gold, it says the same thing. Your positions look solid for long-term holders, but for short-term holders, it says consider selling some shares. So definitely it's very tailored to each one very nicely as well. For market insights, like I said, this is a beginner mode, so you're basically gonna have everything all in one space, so you don't have to be clicking through so much. One of my beta testers says that she's really new at finances, and it would be nice to have like 2 different kinds, advanced and simple, so that way you don't have to be clicking through so many tabs just to figure out what you should be doing with your money or what's happening with the markets. So, for market insights, it even tells you the market sentiment, which says it's cautious with pockets of opportunity. We are on August 17th of Monday, 2026. So, this is basically what's going on is that the market is basically flat and every big money is waiting on like the biggest earnings. Not the biggest earnings. We're waiting on some huge movement right now with the Fed meeting and some pretty big earnings, which has to do with consumer reports. So, everything is just flat right now. So, that's probably why it says that. It even tells you what's going on. The United States market is the United States market, mind you. Of course, I'll show you how to change between different regions, but this one specifically is taking a breather, which I just said. It gives you key points of what you should focus on, gives you the macro translation, basically where I do my Instagram videos, and gives you the actionable takeaways. For long-term investors, hold. For high frequency movers, stand aside. The point of this is to make sure that you do not go in the market with absolutely no idea what is happening. Now, of course, if you're a scalper or like a professional day trader, then you know what you're doing. This may not be for you. But if you want to go ahead and have clear decisions as to when to go in and more like swing trading and long term, this would be perfect. Because yes, doing consistent contributions help you go ahead and clear your DCA. That's if the market goes up and down and you catch it on time. But the best way to make the most amount of money long term or swing trading, even high frequency, is to make sure that you get in the market at the timing that you can actually make money from it. You know what I'm saying? Like if the market right now, it's actually the S&P 500 is out at its all-time high. If you put money in now in the S&P 500, then it dips, you put money again, then it goes up, you put money again, you could make some money. You went to in on dips. Now, if the research agent is telling you go in on a dip, don't go in on top, go back in on dip, don't go on top, and he keeps on doing that. You just keep on buying dips rather than tops, you're gonna end up making a lot more money than someone who just makes consistent contributions. You understand? Now, of course, it could be definitely arguable if it goes sideways. But me, for example, I have made a decent amount of money when it comes to that. Now, it gives you other key points here too: retail earnings in focus, cooling inflation data, tech sector profit taking, and Federal Reserve rate expectations. It even tells you why it matters, and you can also look at past briefs, which I feel like is an amazing. If you're like, you know, a big brain and you want to like connect the dots or something, you can definitely look at the past briefs and figure out what's been going on the past week and what you can come up with if you'd like, which I feel like is a pretty nice feature. Now, if you want to add a position, you usually have to go to your portfolio. There we go. We skipped the market pulse, but we're going to go on portfolio, no problem. So we go on portfolio, and if you want to add a position, I'll explain to you all of this right now. You just simply click on, let's see if I can find it. Oh, there we go, add. Now, it's going to be a little confusing. You're going to click add and nothing's going to happen. It looks like nothing happened, but what you're going to do is you're going to scroll down after you click add, and then you're going to see this pop up. If you don't want it anymore, you just click cancel, and that's it. You want to back up, you click add. I know it's a little weird. That's like the best way I can code it. Bear with me. So you go ahead and type in your ticker. I already have Apple, so I don't want to put Apple again. Let me think. Microsoft. Microsoft. There you go. Yeah, I'll get this one. Let's say I own like 2 shares of that. I'm not gonna be exaggerative, and then say that's my average cost value. I go ahead and save that. Boom. There we go. Of course, there's no like gain or loss or anything like that because I just put it exactly at the average cost value. But maybe you bought it cheaper, like 475, and you get to go ahead and see your stuff like here, basically. So that's basically how you add your stuff. Here, of course, is your daily, it's your performance. It just gives you I know it's like a little hump here, but it's a test. But usually, let's say you're like consistently contributing, then you're gonna either see it up or you're gonna see it down. Allocation, this feature I feel like is very important because you, especially if you're long-term investing, this is really good for you. So you know whether or not you are heavy on one side or not. So diversify just basically means ETFs. And then if you're like in specific stocks like technology, basic materials, or health, consumer based, It really just tells you like your percentage and diversification when it comes to that. Now, if you want a more like sector health, that would be perfect when you upgrade to diamond. And if you want a portfolio risk score, sorry, that was platinum. If you want a portfolio risk score, that would be a diamond. So for platinum, you see how each you see how each um sector's allocations aligns with your goals, and capital management strategy gauges weight versus targeting scores and suggests gaps. So like let's say you don't have any health um ETFs or anything like that. It will tell you, hey, go ahead and like maybe put a little bit in some health, and it even gives you some categories, not categories, some names that you could look up and if you're interested in putting it in. The risk portfolio score just tells you how risky your portfolio is to ups and downs. So I feel like this might be helpful for you too if you're into that. So that will be all for this one. There is key levels, like I said in the tutorial, and there is the explainer. I'll show you that in the other tiers. I think this video will just be about black tier only and like the beginning. And then I'll go ahead and make other videos on platinum and diamond. So that way I don't drag this out too much either. So for the research, we have conviction scoring, which is one of our biggest features that a lot of people would love to use. I've been having a lot of questions on it and people are super interested in it. Why? Conviction scoring tells you whether or not this is a good time to buy or hold and stand aside. Now, this is not a buy sell signal. This is more so of a measurement. It measures technical, sentimental, and macro. And what it does is it gives those three measurements and gives you one score. Now, if the sentiment is off, but the technicals is there, sorry, fundamentals, I meant not macro. If the sentiment is off, the technicals is there, and the fundamentals is off, it's gonna be a no. Vice versa, it's gonna be a little difficult to understand. But since you're on beginner, it shouldn't tell you a score. It should just tell you, watch it, solid, or some other ones. It's gonna make it very easy for you. I'll also make another video on the advanced version for those of you who are interested in going advanced. So of course we have to up this is a platinum feature because of how much it uses and how much amazing information it gives off. It even gives you the best buy window as well due to those measurements, and it uses everything that happens on the daily macro brief on that specific ticker. Now I believe you have to upgrade to, because on platinum you can search, no, you can't search any of them. For all of it, the diamond feature would be it. If you want to search absolutely any ticker you want. For the platinum feature, you'll only have access to what you have on your portfolio, basically. So this is one of the best ones. And like I said, I'll make other videos upon this as well. Now we have the earnings calendar here, which you saw in the tutorial as well. We have this month, we have 3 months, and you can search your ticker here. I think we also have a dividend calendar. I think I have to fix this up. I have to fix that up. My apologies. For the two lanes, we already have some holdings for that. Um, let's see. You're seeing a macro guidance level, upgrade to platinum to unlock specific tiers. Okay, so for this one, let's say for long term, maintain your current position as the market digests recent gains and waits for clarity from consumer focused companies. And of course, for high frequency, avoid making any sudden changes while the market is quiet because we don't know if it's going to go up or if it's going to go down. So it gives you like generical steps of what you should be doing. Now, if you want a more detailed each of your holdings of what you should do, you go ahead and go to the platinum as well. The platinum is only like $20 a month, by the way, and you get all of this. You probably might have a more return than what you're actually paying for. Of course, if you're doing this correctly. This is Bresni, which is one of my agents, and you could definitely ask her absolutely anything when it comes to the markets, and she will give you the utmost detailed paragraphs for you. Yes, it's a lot of reading, but that's pretty much what you have to do to make sure that you get yourself the best decision possible. And here in this tab, conversation history, here is when you can, here's when you can go ahead and talk to me personally. Now, you're most likely going to get an AI talking to you first. If you ever need me to come in and actually ask me direct questions, usually you would go ahead here in the feedback. And here I'll be able to speak to you directly. But If you want to go ahead and have your conversation with the AI chat with the AI bot first to maybe see if that can solve your problem, then you can go ahead and do that. If you need to escalate it, just say speak to a human, and that's it, or speak to an agent, and I'll go ahead and come in. It'll most likely go ahead and transfer you to me. That's basically how you can use that. For our communities, we have our Luxentrics website, which will land you here. And here's where you can go ahead and join our communities. And you can, of course, launch the research agent where you just came from. And this is where you can also find our communities, our articles, our testimonials. You can do a lot here, basically. A lot of people like the articles because I do give out like a huge detailed things of what's going on that week. So that's definitely something that people like to use. And this should leave you right there you go, right here. So this is our groups, our communities. So this is where I'm like more directly interactive with you. I have to make maybe I should make a community for the actual research agent. I'll think about that one. Now for your account, this is basically where you could just determine whether or not you want to change up some stuff. Like right now we're on dark mode, which is my personal favorite, but if you want light mode, boom, you got light mode. Your eyes have now been blinded. Perfect. If you want not beginner, this is where you can actually change your experience mode. If you don't want beginner anymore and you want advanced, you can go ahead and click advanced. What's the difference between that? You go back home and now you see a conviction score. You understand? Now, of course, it goes into a lot more detail than that. There you go. Next contribution, stay the course, trim, and we have our conviction scoring here instead of actual words. So let's go back to the account, maybe not burn your eyes out anymore. So let's say we want to click advanced. We have, the login details here, investor strategy. This is where you can change what kind of investor you are and what goals you have, and the conviction scoring, mind you, will change around that. Your market pulse will change. This, sorry, where is it? Where is it, Taylor? Where is it? 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 Give me a second. Oh, you have to pound for that one. Interesting. I like this though. This is nice. Okay, so you see how it says aggressive and growth? This will change. That will change. And every action that it tells you here, let's say your conviction scoring, it was at 57, it will change. This could change if you change your goals. So right now I have it at growth, aggressive, and long term. So that's why I have the conviction scores that I have now. But if we change it up to, let's say we have income and moderate, then let's say high frequency. First of all, the wording of your conviction scoring is going to change since now you turn to high frequency, and the conviction score is going to change around what your goals are. So if it's income, you're definitely going to go ahead and get some slower, not so much trading. So it wouldn't really be high frequency, it would be long term, but it'll do its best to manage what you have. You understand? This is the best part, market region. Right now I'm on United States, so or New York session. So let's say I want to go to United Kingdom. I live in United Kingdom, specifically in Germany. Or you know what, Netherlands, I guess, since I decided to put that instead. I clicked on United Kingdom. I clicked my country. You don't have to. You can just pick full region if you want to know what's going on everywhere. So let's say I pick that specifically. Now I go to dashboard. And now what does it? Oh, my not dashboard, my bad. Market pulse. That's where it is. Now what does it do? Now I have United Kingdom. This is the best part, is that you get to have all market briefs from Asia, London to New York. And you could choose however you'd like. The UK market is showing a distinct split today as global concerns battle against local economic strength. Why it matters, it tells you what events to watch, and it also says cautious with pockets of opportunity, and it gives you these tailored specifically to the region that you are in. And this was thanks to one of my beta testers that said, make it global. And I don't know why I didn't have this idea before, but now we have it. So that's actually one of the best things that I think I like. And we have briefs come out for absolutely all of them. Let's say Asia as well. Let's have full region. Go to dashboard. Of course, let it load and let it do its thing. Not dashboard. I forgot. Market pulse or market insights, whatever you like. Boom. Asia. The Asian markets are currently moving in two different directions, with Japan enjoying the tech-driven rally while Hong Kong and China grapple the intense internal price competition. What to watch for? Cautious with pockets of opportunity. Why it matters. Asian markets. Bullish, cautious, bullish, cautious. Absolutely phenomenal. I love it. And of course, if you want to click on world markets to see what's going on everywhere, you may do so here. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I almost forgot to mention that on the daily briefs, we also have the market news and sentiment. We have 3 positive, 9 neutral, and 3 negative. And you can go ahead and actually click on these if you're interested in any of these stories, and it will take you directly to that article. Amazing. I love it. So that is the account section that we have here. And you have your subscription here. And to change your subscription, you go to billing. If you want to manage your notifications, of course, if you want to get emails on the macro groups, you can definitely do that. Change it if you want to. The billing. If you want to upgrade, it tells you exactly what it includes in there for these upgrades. And you'll also see the upgrades around the entire app if you want more detailed information. And if you ever need help in understanding a word, you have the glossary. You legitimately have the glossary where you can read and teach yourself what each of these things are. I find that super helpful as well. Like, again, this is because of one of my beta testers, and she's like super new at this whole financial thing. So that's what we got in account. And for support, of course, ask for support. And we have frequently asked questions if you also, let's say, need any more details of whatever you need. So we can sign out. And we are done with that. So that is the basic of the entire Luxentrics Research Agent and what it has. That is just the black tier. Of course, we have a lot more in platinum tier and in diamond tier that it will make your trading journey a breeze. I already have ratings from a bunch of my beta testers that they loved it. Some did say I need to do some fixtures, which we already put it in. We already did some fixtures. We fixed some bugs. We added a couple more things in there. And yeah, so this was the black tier and basic tutorials in another 2 videos or another 2 streams. So I'm streaming it. It's like the easiest way I can show you this. In the other 2 videos, I'll go ahead and show you platinum and diamond tier. Of course, I will do my best to do it before the launch date, which is in 3 days' time. So if you haven't already, go ahead and join the waitlist. If you're already in the waitlist, awesome. We're launching in like 3 days. So super excited for that. And for those of you who haven't yet, I'm going to go ahead and have that in the link in the description. There should be description, I think. I'm not sure how to work this whole stream thing. And I'll go ahead and have that in there as well, along with some communities if you want to join in there. And also my Instagram, because I usually do my updates on that too. So thanks again for watching. I really hope you're just as excited as I am for this whole eccentrics thing. It's helped me during the bear market. We had like a bear market for like a whole month straight, and I made money from it. So did my beta testers. We ended up making some decent amount of money from it instead of losing and emotionally selling off. I did have one that emotionally sold off, but it happens to the best of us. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you're just as excited as me. I'll see you guys at lunch or in the other 2 videos where I show you platinum and diamond.